Okay, as you're sticking your tailbone back, you're going to keep your core engaged so your shoulders don't drop. And you're going to really be firing up those glutes. So today we're going to be talking about how to strengthen your glutes using a specific exercise called a Bulgarian split squat. Now, Bulgarian split squat, it's a very versatile exercise. Not only does it work on your glutes, but it helps you accentuate your balance on one leg. Now, of course, you know, we talked about this many times here on this channel, that when you are moving through the world, you are normally traversing the world one leg at a time. It's not very often that you're going to be jumping on 2 feet through the world. So you want to focus on getting your hips, glutes, quads, and hamstrings stronger so that you can move through the world without any issues. So today we're going to learn how to do that Bulgarian split squat. As I said, it's a versatile exercise. It works your glutes, your gluteus maximus, as well as your gluteus minimus, but it also works on the inside of your thigh and your quads. So I'm going to show you how you do a glute-centric Bulgarian split squat, and then we'll break it down. We'll talk a little bit more about how we can get a little more quads in there. All right, so with your Bulgarian split squat, you're going to have your foot approximately, or your toes approximately 6 inches or so in front of your knee, okay? And then you can have another foot behind you on an object, okay? Now you can see I already kind of pitched my shoulders forward because I'm getting ready to do what's called a hip hinge. Now, if you remember from last week, those of you subscribers might remember, we learned how to do a hip hinge. Now you're going to stick your tailbone back, okay? As you're sticking your tailbone back, you're going to keep your core engaged so your shoulders don't drop. And you're going to really be firing up those glutes, all right? So when you're firing up those glutes, bringing that tailbone down, you're going to get those glutes to contract, okay? Or excuse me, they're going to be elongating, and then you're going to come up, and they're going to contract, and they're going to stretch out those hips, okay? Now, one thing that you want to focus on, I did mention that the glutes are activated here. You're going to have your gluteus maximus. That's going to be what's extending your hip, and you're going to be having your gluteus minimus, all right? Most people, or excuse me, gluteus medius. Most people don't talk about that, but that's what helps keep your knee from tracking medially, okay? Now, what happens when you track your knee medially is that you actually end up putting a lot of pressure on the inside of your knee, and you're not really using your hip anymore. So what I want you to do is think about using what's called your adductor magnus. Your adductor magnus helps you push that knee outward. It attaches at your hip, and it innervates into your, or it innervates through your hip, and it attaches to your femur. So you use that muscle. It's a big triangle-shaped muscle, right, that attaches to your hip. You can use that muscle to push your knee outward as you go downward, and that's going to help you keep those glutes firing, okay? So, as I said, we're going to be talking about a different way to work this exercise. Gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, that's when you hip hinge, okay? Now, if you want to do a basic, I call it basic because it's pretty much like any other exercise, a basic Bulgarian split squat, again, you're going to line yourself up in the same exact way, set yourself up in the same position with your foot forward, 1 foot forward, toes 6 inches, again, in front of the knee, other foot behind you. Now, the only difference between this exercise is, you see I push my heel down, and I'm really pushing down through the toes of my back foot so that I can stay as upright as possible on my squat, okay? Now here, when I'm going down, I'm still using that adductor magnus, as well as that gluteus medius, but I'm also really engaging those quads so that I can keep myself upright, okay? So, as I said, it's a great exercise, that Bulgarian split squat. It's great for strengthening those glutes if you do the hip hinge. Great for strengthening that leg overall, no matter how you do it. And I would highly suggest that you add that to your workout routine. All right, so hopefully this brought you value. If you have any questions or if you have any comments about this specific video or any of our videos in our library, I'd love for you to write those comments down below. Now, I would definitely love for you to continue watching these videos. You know, it brings me joy when I see those subscriber numbers pop up. So yeah, click on that subscribe button so you can be part of this General Fitness Company family. All right, thanks again for watching, and as always, keep good company.
Wow, I like it. That was cool.
Awesome. Hey, thanks.